Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Cryy, back again with another Bless Online video, and today we're going to take a look at one of the dungeons. Actually my first dungeon. Now aside from that, I'm also going to give you guys some tips and things that I've learned about Bless Online since playing again. These monsters that you see right here are actually a combination of pets and mounts. Now my friend here, the archer, is actually riding on a mount, some demonic devil looking thing, and you may think that this is a rare mob, but he actually told me this was just a normal mob you can capture later down the quest line. In my previous videos, I didn't know what the purpose of these pets were. I thought maybe later down the line they'll actually help you out in combat, but it turns out that these pets are here to grant you a buff. The current one that I have equipped is this zombie, and he grants me 3.1% more gold when hunting mobs. Another thing I learned is about the skills in Bless. Now, some of you guys, including myself, find the combat extremely boring. Being level 21 in the beginning of this video, I had, X amount of skills, and that amount of skills was really low. And most of them had similar animations, and I found really boring. After the dungeon, I realized my DPS was a bit low, and after speaking to a guildmate, he asked me if I learned any new skills from a tactics instructor, and the thing was I hadn't. So right after the dungeon, I went into the main city to go learn some skills and realized that I can learn a new 12 skills. So I just learned a shit ton, haven't tested these out yet, but I can't wait. So as far as combat goes, have patience guys, it may get better. Dungeons in Bless are actually hard. They are very hard. This was my first dungeon, and this is the third dungeon in the game. It's a level 20 dungeon, but going in this with 5 level 20s, you would probably get destroyed, all 5 of you. I don't know why it's labeled as a level 20 dungeon, but we had a level 45. Now being in there at level 21, I got one-shotted by some mobs. I would probably say that most that enter the dungeon, if you go on early level, should be at level 22, because there seems to be a huge curve when it comes to hitting 22. Your gear changes dramatically because you're able to craft new gear. Now crafting is a huge thing in this game. When you're inside of dungeons, you get these drops and it crafts armor pieces. You can craft these from your inventory, but it requires specific materials. Or you can take these pieces back to an artisan in a main town and have them crafted without needing the materials. So that is what I'm going to do later. If you're wondering about transportation in Bless, there are a shit ton of mounts, probably a few hundred, because every mob can be tamed to either a pet or a mount, and there are even flying mounts. But if you don't have a flying mount, or you don't want to ride your wolf or whatever, your beetle, all the way to the next area, you can use these dragon keepers. They will have the dragons fly you to whatever destination you need to go around the map. And one of the coolest functions that I found out is a currency that you can obtain in Bless. Now this currency, I believe, can be bought off the cash shop. For now I'm going to call them red crystals because I don't know the exact name and don't know what the name is going to be upon launch. Now with these crystals, you earn free crystals I think every week, and sometimes you get them from other ways. Now these are crystals that can be used to buy things off the cash shop. They can also be used to instant revive your character, and they can be used to loot bosses again. So you can use a very, very, very small amount, that specifically being 5 red crystals for this specific dungeon, and it would allow you to loot the boss again and get 2 rare drops. I think that's awesome, because you can be in a party of 5 and maybe the assassin or archer didn't get the loot they wanted, so they have another chance, and if they don't, they may get some items that can benefit your class, and you can do the same and get items that can benefit their class, and from there you can trade each other. So those are just some new things that I learned about the game, and now let's take a look at the actual dungeon where I get my ass kicked several times. Alright, so when we first get into the dungeon, the first thing I notice is, wow, this is pretty fucking sexy. It's got some good design. And then we start going to the dungeon, take a little shortcut, jump off the cliff here, skip the first mob, whoever the hell this frog thing is, and we start taking out some mobs. And then we get to this long hallway where there's just a shit ton of mobs, but luckily we have the tank to, of course, tank them all. But there's these bomb spiders that explode, and they are extremely annoying, and you will see just how annoying they are later in this dungeon. And then we get to our first boss. The first boss seems a bit easy. He has these one-shot attacks where he will deal damage in his line of sight. And then of course I died. Not to the boss, but to an exploding spider. So after resurrecting, and if you're not familiar with this resurrecting system, it's kind of like WoW, where when you die you go back to your body. And then we get to the second boss, which is another type of snake looking thing, and our mentor is like, yeah, don't worry about the boss until he spawns these ads, and we're waiting the whole entire time where are these ads at? They're not coming. And then all of a sudden here comes all these fucking ads, and I'm like, oh my god, dude. And I'm just running for my life because I know I'm gonna die. I'm so squishy, I have shit gear, they're just chasing me. You could just see me running like a bitch right here. And then, you know, I do a few laps, I go around, and then boom, another death. But afterwards, we make it back to the boss, get some loot, and then I re-roll for some more loot by using those crystals. So then we get to another snake boss, and this guy spawns many snakes, and if they make it to him in time, they will heal him for a crazy amount of health. It happened to us once, but eventually we caught on, and then me and the lower level guildmate took out the baby mobs while the tank continued to tank the big snake, and then we destroyed it. And then we get to another boss, but this time it's not a snake, it's two creatures, one of them being a priest. So you take on one of them first, and he's pretty much the big damage dealer, and then shortly after, the priest wakes up, and you have to kill the priest because I'm assuming the priest starts to heal the other guy or help him. So we took out the priest and then finished the main guy. Now after this is when we got to, you know, the huge boss, the final boss of the dungeon, and you enter through some kind of crypt. Now this dude looks like some fucking slug lizard abomination, and these gates even come up when you're about to fight him. It looks pretty crazy. So this guy has no aggro. It seems like it doesn't matter who's in the arena with him, he's going after anyone. And as you're about to see, I get my ass destroyed by this dude as soon as we get in there. Oh my. Oh my god. What the shit?
He doesn't care about others.
No, he only cares about me.
Of dead. You're dead. He goes down already.
He charged me twice. Oh god.
Okay.
And then after dying, I try to make my way back to the big abomination, but then I get chased by another one of those spiders. And there's like a cast time when trying to go back into the crypt, and I can't do it because the spider just keeps hitting me, eventually killing me again. These fucking bomb spiders are so annoying. But then we get back to the guy, and we finally finished him. And so this was my first dungeon run, and I found it extremely interesting, especially for a first dungeon. And today I plan to play more Bless, and I plan to hit level 30, which will allow me to participate in sieges and PvP, and I'm going to get you guys some of that footage. I plan on hitting max cap so I can bring you guys a final review, a lot of PvP guides, builds, and you know, just interesting content. There are these world bosses that spawn and factions fight over them, and I hear that assassins are very OP in game. Assassins sometimes stealth and get the last hit in world bosses and steal it and stuff like that. So great thing that I chose this class. I might be able to piss some people off. Anyways guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Don't make your final judgment on this game yet because I still have more content to come and I actually am enjoying it more. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Again, if you would like to support my channel and what I do full time, you can head over to gamewisp.com/dxgundamplays and find out more there. See you later, friends.